Hi, so in this video we're going to continue implementing a feature in my search and subs script which allows us to view the results of the search and subtitle files in MPV player. So let me demonstrate what we have so far. This is search and subs, so I'm searching for this for this word wiki and this subtitle file. And then I'm passing the -p option, which stands for play, or like the long version as edl-play. And then I press enter, or
att man som historielärare måste vara duktig. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk händelse så kollar jag alla Wikipedia.
Att med sina elever skriva på Wikipedia som ett sätt att lära.
So as you can see, this is a compilation of search results. If I press a hotkey that allows me to view the chapters in this file, you can also see that we have, like, for each search result we have a chapter, and that's represented also here on the seek bar with these kind of little indicators. And if I hover over the seek bar, we can see the name of the chapter, which we set to just the first line of the subtitle, for so that it's easier to recognize them. We still have this kind of a little issue with this first chapter getting created, and like there's no way to get rid of it by using just EDL format, but I looked into something that might help with that, but more on that in a second. So this is what we have so far. In the last session, we fixed some things in the script. So I added this no chapters header here, so that there's no like duplicate chapters basically from the subtitle EDL, because we generate 3 files, one for video, one for subtitles, and the third one is the main file that sources the video and the subtitles. So we don't need duplicate chapters. That's why there's no chapters here. We added that last time. I cleaned up this function that generates the lines for the EDL files, and then we also improved this algorithm which recognizes so like it takes in the name of the subtitle file, and from that it infers what the video file's name is, so that it can be added to the EDL, and so that all plays accordingly. So that's what we have so far. Now I have this note here that I keep sort of like adding things to. Let me see what we have here. So I mentioned that thing about the chapters, and like there is a way to get rid of that extra chapter that we have, but then we'll have to add yet another file, a fourth one, an external chapters file. So MPV supports external chapters. Hold on a sec, I forgot to do something here. Here we go. So MPV has this -- chapters file option, and basically it can take a text file formatted in this FF metadata format. It's kind of a bit of a you could argue that it's not a very convenient format, because like the formatting is a little bit like there's a lot of for each chapter you have to have like this heading, and then like the time base needs to be given. But we can generate that. So in that case, we can use that external chapters file to play everything, and everything should kind of work. But I'll just kind of mention this for now. I'm not actually going to work on this feature in this video, but maybe I'll do it later. Basically, the point is that there is a way to have like chapters read from an external file, and that way we can fix that little idiosyncrasy of the EDL format. Now I have this note here that says if has matches. That is referring to the fact that I forgot something last time, or actually even in the session before the last one. Basically, right now, if the script doesn't find anything, so let's just kind of search for something that is not present in that subtitle. So it outputs a bunch of errors because MPV tries to play like empty EDL files, and that's not gonna work. So we need to add a condition here, so that only if there are matches that like these EDLs get generated. Otherwise, nothing needs to be done. So let's do that. Basically, I have this variable that's called head matches that is used to determine the exit code here at the very end of the script, but I can also use it here, I believe. Let me just kind of make sure that I'm correct about that. But basically, yes, yes, I am correct about that. It just tells us whether there were matches or there were no matches. And that's all we need to know for this particular statement. So we can add if had matches and opt EDL play matches. Let's try again. So now it just exits with the exit code 2, and that's how it should be. But if I now search for the word that will give us some search results,
Att man som historielärare måste vara
everything works normally. So that's that is now fixed. I'll remove this. Let me see. So this is something for later. Let's add some new options. Basically, I think I might, like in this session, only do this, but we'll see how it goes. Like if I do it quickly, then I might do something else. We'll see how it goes. So, but basically, edl-play-before and edl-play-after, these options, like the intention is so that they add a certain amount of time before each segment of the search results and after each segment, so that there's some room before and after the actual beginning of the subtitle, because usually subtitles don't match the line, the spoken line exactly. So there might be some words that are kind of that get some parts of that segment that are relevant get cut off. So that would allow us to kind of mitigate that a little bit and introduce a bit of a margin. So let's work on this right now. And like this stuff here is just I just wrote ahead of time some stuff for the manual page to edit later, but let's kind of leave that alone for now. So these two options, so let's go ahead and add them. I'll scroll up to this part where all the option parsing takes place. And so we need to add B for the short version of edl-play-before. I need to add a colon because that option will require an argument, and the same is for is the case for the A option. And I will also add edl play before and edl play after, also with colons for the same reason, because they have a value, and the value is going to be just a number in seconds, potentially with fractions of a second. So that's what that's gonna be. And this should be pretty easy. edl-play-before, edl-play-after. I'm just checking because sometimes yeah, sometimes you get things mixed up, but in this case everything looks fine. So let's now add things here. So -b edl-play-before. So we'll need also a variable here. I'll just copy this one and use that as a template before, and I'll also create one for after. Here as well. Let me copy this so that I don't make any typos and don't end up chasing those down afterwards. So edl-play-before. So this is something that I haven't yet covered in this series. So like when you have an option with an argument, since you're parsing basically always the first argument in the kind of sequence of positional arguments. The second one will be the argument to the option, and we'll have to shift two arguments again for the same reason, because there's two of them for this option. So when this shifts, the loop starts again, and then it keeps searching for other options. Once it hits this, then there's a break, and then the option parsing is complete. That's I'm using getopt for option parsing. So that's edl-play-before, and we can also do the same thing for after. Replace this, and yeah. So actually, the default value, I'll set it to 0 for now. Maybe I'll change that later, but that's gonna be the default. It can always be configured in the config file, but maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe the 0 is a good default, and then everyone can decide what they want to set for themselves. So one thing that just crossed my mind, maybe I should rename this keep temporary option, because basically we have edl-play, edl-no-play, and then like we have like some stuff for edl-play. So like before and after go sort of like under the edl-play subsection. But then edl-keep temporary, the keep temporary thing only is relevant for playing, because we'll also have saving, and that's kind of different. But yeah, so yeah, I think I will rename them, because that just kind of makes sense to keep things tight, kind of logical. edl-play keep temporary, because yeah, temporary files are only needed for playback and not for saving. So this makes more sense. edl-play keep temporary, and we'll need to update variables here. So I'll need to rename two things. First, edl-keep temporary. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna do replace here. I'll just insert this carefully. edl-play keep temporary, edl-play-no keep temporary, and the short options remain the same. And edl-play keep temporary, edl-play no keep temporary. So that's good. And now we also have this variable which I will rename by using substitution. So I'm using this flag to set a certain mode of regex, and then that it just affects how you use special characters. Like if I didn't set this, I would have to go like this to set like word boundaries to make sure that it actually like this word gets matched, even though in this case there won't be any issues. But you know, like if you have a word boundary means that there's like a word ends there and there are no letters after it. So if you don't specify them in a regex, you might replace something that you didn't intend to. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna spend more time on explaining this, but I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. So opt edl play keep temporary. So this will just replace that variable name everywhere for substitutions. Should probably test this to make sure that it actually does what I think it should. So yeah, let me go ahead and do watch ls dot cache search and subs. That will just watch the contents of that folder for us. So if I pass the K option, we see that there's files there now, and they were not deleted. If I remove the K, they are deleted after playback. So now let's test the long version. So that was edl play no or keep temporary. Okay, everything worked as expected, and edl play no keep temporary should make it so that the files get deleted. So that's working. Close that. Okay. So we fixed this thing. So now, okay, now let's go back to these options that we started working on initially. edl-play-before and edl-play-after. So the number that's going to get passed to those options will have to go into this generate edl line function, but I don't need to pass it separately. I can just use those variables right here, so I'll just pass them as two more, like two more arguments. So again, copy to avoid typos. And edl-play-before, edl-play-after. So now we have more stuff here for this Lua code to work with. So far we had only 3 arguments. Now we have 5 of them. So now we need to incorporate arg4 and arg5, because Lua indexes arrays starting with 1, not with 0. That's important to remember. So so how am I gonna do that? I guess so they need to be they will affect these A and B values essentially. We just take the range of the subtitle and we they actually go in opposite directions, right? Like for the A we will subtract, and for the B we will add. Yes. Well, like in principle, you could also like pass a negative value there, which would shrink the range, but I don't know if there's any use for that. But that would work still. But okay, so for the A we're subtracting, for the B we're adding, and that's pretty much it, I think. So we'll need to subtract arg4, which is gonna be edl-play-before, and for the B we'll have to add arg5. And like by default, the way we set it up, like there will be 0 there, so this shouldn't really change anything right now. So let's see if this works.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig.
Well, it sounds the same, so I think I can assume that didn't have any problems with it. Or, well, let's see.
Att man som
att med sina elever skriva på Wikipedia som ett sätt att lära sig om Wikipedia.
Yeah, that looks okay. So I think they should work at this point. So let's see, A 1, B 1. So or maybe like 1 second is a bit too much, like 0.5. It's nice that since this is Lua, you can just pass precise values as well without any problems. So yes, so for the A this will be subtracted, for the B this will be added. Yeah, that makes sense. And okay, we have some problems here. EDL specifies no segments, and string value. Why on earth is it a string value? Okay, we'll have to look into this. Let's see what. Let's print A and B and see what it did. A, B. Clear the screen, run it again. Let's go to the very beginning of this stuff. So, okay. No. That's weird. Oh, okay. I think, yeah, I get it. I just, of course, yeah. So these actually need to be passed as arguments to the function, because this arg stands for args for the function and not for the entire script. That's the problem. Get rid of that. So what shall I call them? Time codes. We'll just say before and after, I guess. Before, after. No. Or yeah, I didn't I didn't pass them to the function arg. What's kind of not clear to me is why when I ran the script without passing the A and B, it didn't crash, like, but arg5 are being passed here.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historia.
Okay. Oh, so that's without any A and B. Man, okay. Like I'm obviously not getting something. Before, after. So, okay, let me kind of backtrack here for a second. Print arg4, arg5. Kind of, there's too much output. Let me try and cut it down. I'll just put break here so that we only think that should okay, I'm starting to do random stuff, so let me kind of take a step back. Print, yeah. Oh, now like, okay, but yeah, that gets printed into the, like I'm not gonna get any output this way. But okay, so like arg4 and arg5 apparently, let me see, that arg array, maybe only, okay, so like, yeah, you have to, so if I don't use the dot 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 in the function, which stands for like positional arguments, then the arg array is not set, and so it just inherits that from the scope above, but I'm going to still do the arguments because that's just a bit cleaner. Before and after. So right now we're getting this because it just apparently doesn't get to this point somehow, like because it can't like deal with this. Yeah, like there's some problem with the arithmetic part of it. Yeah, but let me just take one step at a time. Let's first make it so that we have those values. So if I have a string, how can I kind of, I don't remember, I think it's type in Lua. How I can, yeah, see if it's a number or a string. Number. So so what was the error again? Right now there's no error because I'm not doing anything with those minus before. Plus after. nothing gets looks like nothing gets added to those EDLs. Let's see what ls or no vim dot cache search and subs. Okay, nothing got created at all. Okay. So what is the problem here? Before and after. Okay, so let me comment these out for a second and let me see. So maybe if I just like, let me see if I convert this to number, which I believe is done like this. If I'm not mixing anything up, I'm pretty sure. To number. No, there's still the same problem, so it's not that. And I kind of thought that it's not that because like Lewis should be able to deal with a string that looks like a number, and like if there is a mathematical operation being performed, then it would convert the type automatically. But this is not what's happening here, so like I don't really understand what okay, let me print A and B, and maybe also type of A and type of B. So, okay, it does make some mess with like this. So it doesn't get that it's okay, well, what if I convert maybe it can only do that with like with integers, convert types to number, but then okay, like I'm just to number after. So if I comment that out.
Det är självklart att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på Wikipedia för nästa. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk händelse så kollar jag alla Wikipedia. Och de som
fungerar att med sina elever.
Well, I think that worked. But like I'm just kind of, I just want to know why Lua, like what is exactly the, let's see, Lua string number auto convert type. Like what's the exact rule? So let me see, like, let me just like run Lua. So let's see, like 1 plus 1, like this. This it understands what this means. What about this? So like, what's the problem? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, maybe, okay, I think I know what the problem is. Let me erase all of that conversion. I think I just need to put parentheses around this concatenation part, and that'll take care of it. Let me see. No, man. Or wait, I had to delete that, or I should have deleted that.
Det är självklart att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på Wikipedia.
So okay, I think it works. Let me increase like A, for example.
Det är självklart att man som historielärare måste.
Let's go 1.5.
Det är självklart att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på Wikipedia. Förstår hur det funkar.
Okay, I can't really like see. Wait, that was A. That's because like it's the other way around. So like B is before, A is after. And that was in my mind I was doing it for the before, but
Så här väldigt länge att det är självklart att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på Wikipedia. Kunskap för de allra flesta.
So and now afterwards.
Så här väldigt länge att det är självklart att man som historielärare måste vara duktig på Wikipedia. Förstår hur det funkar. Kunskap för de allra flesta. Alltså om man ska kolla upp en historisk händelse så kollar jag alla på Wikipedia. Och de som påstår något annat ljuger.
Det är av att testa hur det fungerar att med sina...
Okay, that looks good to me. I mean, I guess I could kind of make 100% sure that those things get added properly. Let me like open that cache, search and subs. Nothing there at the moment, but let's run without. Let's set the K option so that it keeps the cache files.
Att man som historielärare måste.
And let's open that stuff in Vim. So here's the values. Now if I say before, so subtract 0.5, or like let's just do, yeah, let's, I don't know, 0.5, that's fine.
Det är självklart att man som historielärare måste.
So now if I refresh this, this number has changed, and it does subtract 0.5. And yeah, the second number changes because it represents the length, so it actually like 1 point, it's it added 1.5 to that number, so but let's just say 1 so that we can see it more clearly. I'll just revert. So this is the values that the default values without any BNA options set. So
Länge att det är självklart att man.
now here, now it's clear. That works. And let's do A. Let's revert it to the defaults again.
Att man som historielärare måste vara duktig.
So now the length should increase by 1 there. Let's do 1.1.
Att man som historielärare.
So there, 1.1 is added. Okay, that works. Great. Okay, so I've been coding for 40 minutes. So let me see what else we can do. So yeah, let me take it one step at a time. I think I'll end this video here, and in the next session I'll try and implement other things. Maybe this chapters file, I'm not sure yet about that, but definitely these options, because I already kind of figured out how I want to do it, and that's gonna be pretty straightforward, I think. So yeah, let's do that. But as for this session, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.